everyone, welcome to MarikaCreations. Today I will share with you 3 wooden DIYs, and they are all destined for our spa that we are constructing. I'm so excited about the spa because almost all the structural work is done. It's time for the finishing touches like the painting and the tiling. I will show you in my next video our progress so far. So stay tuned for all this. For my first DIY today, I will make a napkin holder for those smaller cocktail napkins. So I will use this square wood strip for this project, and here is the napkin, and it will just almost touch the ground, and I will find the center where to cut the bottom so it can stand straight, and also at the very top right there. So I just mark it, and then I will take my miter box and cut 45-degree angles, and I will cut 5 strips like this. And I actually cheated a little bit. I took them to my miter saw and cut the rest because it took some time, but it's doable. So 45-degree angles, 5 of these, exactly the same size. And once you're done, they look like this, same size. So you have actually for a square plus an extra one if you would do a frame, but you will only use them as a triangle like this. And then you put your napkin right there, and then you have the other ones. But in order for the napkins to fit, you just take the 5th one and just cut it in half, put it on the sides like that, and then this one on the top, and it's done. Almost. I have a little bit more to do. So I clamped them together. I will take them to my belt sander and just sand them off so they are exactly the same size, and sand off all my pieces. This video is part of the What Would You Make challenge hosted by Zana at OK at Home DIY and Connie at Connie's Creative Creations. And the guest host for this month is Leeny at Crafty Leeny. And I will have links to their channels down in my description box, along with a link to the playlist of this challenge for more wooden decor inspiration. So I have sanded off all my pieces, and now I'm gluing them together. That's the only thing I will do to keep them together, is with wood glue. So clamp them together tightly, wipe off the excess glue like that, and just set them aside to dry overnight. Like that. And here they are the next morning, looking good. Just taking my electric sander and sanding them off a little bit to get any excess wood glue off, just to make sure that they are nice and smooth. And then it's time to put the 2 pieces together. And I will show you what I should have done, because I tried it and I thought I could do better, is to put them between something sturdy, heavy like that, and just glue them together so that you can see what you're doing. Instead, I decided to lay them down, made a perfect angle, put wood glue on, and just insert them like that in the corner that I just made. and put on another heavy piece to make sure the structure stays in place, and just set them overnight. It looks okay, you can see it looks okay, but I had a tiny bit of a wobble. I could have just torn them apart and do it all over again, but I decided just to put a couple of pads on the bottom, and I was fine actually. So use my first tip, keep them standing, then you know they're standing straight. So I sand off any excess glue and then decided to paint my piece in a black satin color. It's actually anthracite, dark grey color, looks black. 2 coats, let it dry in between the coats. And here it is, my beautiful napkin holder. It will look great in the spa, won't it? I think it turned out beautiful. And you can't see that it was a tiny imperfection there. So this is how it looks close up. Tell me what you think. For my second DIY, I will make a painting for a special reason. If you take a look here, it's in the spa. We have a maintenance hatch that I would like to cover up. It has a door, but it's shiny white metal, so I want to cover that up. And this is a frame that I found at our local thrift store, and I paid €3 for it, just about the same in US dollars. So I will take it apart. I don't like what's in it, so I will take out the glass and the photo and just keep the frame. So our spa will be Japanese inspired, if you haven't caught up to that yet. And this painting that I will make will also be Japanese inspired. The frame looks good, it has a lot of texture, so I just wipe it clean so it's ready for painting. But before I get to that, I will take this MDF sheet, using the glass that was in the frame to trace the right size and cut it out with my jigsaw. Now onto the frame again. I painted in the same color I used in my first project, satin color, anthracite, almost black, and I applied 2 coats and just set it aside to dry. Here is the MDF sheet that I have cut out, and I'm putting on a base coat for my painting, and it's the same color as the walls are going to be in the spa, and I applied 2 coats and let it dry in between the coats. Now back to the frame that has dried, and I take my creamy gold color that I do. I like it so much, and I just put on almost just dry brushing to make that texture pop. And black and gold looks so good together. That is something that I will use a lot in the spa. If you're new to my channel, hi! I am Marika, and on this channel I do lots of DIYs. I do thrift flips, trash to treasure, renovation of my home, some pottery, some painting, anything creative really. Please join me. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and join my YouTube family. Time to paint, and you can see in the upper left corner my inspiration. So there is Mount Fuji and a cherry blossom branch. So I'm just sketching out with my pencil so I know just about where I need to paint my mountain and my cherry blossom branch. And I guess it's like watercolor, what they have in the inspiration piece. But I'm using my acrylic paint, and I have it a little bit diluted in some water. And I'm putting on different shades of grey. Start with the lighter ones and going more heavy and finish off with some touches of black. Once I'm happy with my mountain and the branch, I put on some cherry blossoms with some dark red, just mixing a little bit of black in my red color. And here it is. And I decided to sign it in Japanese. So these signs here spells out Marika. So that's me, Marika. Time to put the painting in the frame, and I put in a little bit of wood glue all the way around like that and put the painting in place. But I don't think that is enough, so I want to put on some tape as well. So I just had this masking tape, so I decided to put some wood glue underneath it. It doesn't have that strong adhesive on it. So here it is, my painting that will cover up the ugly maintenance hatch in our spa. Tell me what you think. I love this kind of Japanese traditional art. So subtle, simple even, yet so beautiful, I think. For my third and final DIY, I will make the top piece of this shelf unit that will sit in the spa. So that triangle, wooden triangle on the top, that's what I will focus on today. An equilateral triangle has the corners in a 60-degree angle. I can't put my miter saw in a 60-degree angle, but I thought I could play with 30 degrees. I didn't know from the start here exactly how it was going to look, how I was putting it together, because I didn't watch any tutorials on it. I just thought, normally when you make a 90-degree angle, you play with 45-degree pieces and put them together, and I thought maybe I can do something like that and it will look good. So I cut my pieces. I cut them at the same size to start with because I didn't know what I was doing. I will show you here in just a moment when I have cut them all to size. Just make sure that it's sitting straight. And you can see, oh well, you can't actually, but you can't have them equal size. So I need to get one of them shorter, and I will show you why in just a moment. It's very hard to explain how I put them together because it didn't show. So I cut one a little bit shorter, and then that will be the guide of how long the other sides should be. Look at that, looking good together. And then I will just measure so they are just the same length and cut them to size if necessary. Just cut a little bit off the other side as well, and to the bottom. And here it is. Now you can see how it's put together. You have that 30-degree angle, and you just put them on top of each other and on the bottom here as well. So that's how you do it when you don't have a miter saw that cuts in a 60-degree angle. And here are the rest of the wood boards to that shelf unit I was showing you earlier, but that will be a later video. Now focus on the triangle, and I take my electric sander, different grid sandpaper, and just work it. It took me 30-45 minutes to go through them and make them nice and smooth to the touch, but it was well worth it. Now I'm marking out exactly where to drill the holes to fit the screws that will keep the structure in place. So I have long enough screws to have a good attachment, but not too long to damage my piece, sort of. So I will drill pilot holes, or my hubby will drill the pilot holes actually. So I will have 2 holes in each corner, like you see me do here, just making the markings. And here we go with a very thin drill bit to start with, and then we will take a bigger drill, just a tiny bit into the wood, and then screw them in place. You can see we have clamped them together. Before we screw them together, I will put on some wood glue on that end, and then we will just make sure that it's straight, keep it in place, and tighten the screws. Looks good. And now on to the other side. Same here as well. The wood boards are not 100% straight, I will admit that. So we had some issues just to get it as straight as possible, but I think we did a good job together. Same here, pilot holes, bigger hole, and here it is all screwed together. And now I am working on the holes, the bigger holes there, because I will take a wooden dowel to put in that hole. Just put it in place and cut off the excess. You can also just put it in place, mark where you need to cut it, and then cut off those tiny pieces, put some wood glue into the hole, and just bang them into place with a hammer. And then I will take my electric sander once more, just to make sure that the wooden dowels that I put in the holes are flush with the surface of the wood board. The last thing that I need to do is to put on my go-to natural oak stain. It's already oak, but just to freshen it up and make it look super good. So one coat, wipe off the excess, and I'm done. And this is how it turned out. It should be up on the wall, of course, but we're not ready at the spa yet. So tell me, what do you think of my creations today? Did you have a favorite? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video and videos like this, consider subscribing and hit that like button as well. It will help my channel to grow, and I can spend more time creating inspirational content for you. My aim is to upload 1 or 2 videos per week. If you want more wood decor inspiration straight away, just head on over to my description box and click that link to the playlist of this challenge. Thank you so very much for watching. See you soon again in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.